मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी, मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी, मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी. अरे भाई आप 10 साल में क्या किया उसका बोलो ना. मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी क्या है?
Something close to 10 million jobs over the last 7 to 8 years. And the thing, just let me please complete this.
People are ready to go to Israel and Russia to work in the army. What the fuck? You're saying there's the greatest employment? Just come out of that ivory tower and look down, bro. Why have over 2 lakh people given up Indian citizenship? That's the question to ask.
Why should I support Congress, a party who supported a separatist leader like Yasin Malik?
I am saying how many new industries have come up since 370 gone? The answer is as many as the Prime Minister's press conference is 0.
But Tehseen, फिर आप यासिन मलिक वाले डिबेट पे क्या बोलोगे?
नहीं, यासिन मलिक तो अपना है ही नहीं ना.
कांग्रेस तो उसे अपना मान रही है.
Israel is our friend. Gaza is our friend. Our foreign policies for Gaza.
तो इंडिया अलायंस का एक और
India.
decent amount of people who will say that you are a leftist.
अरे मैं लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ. मैं लेफ्ट कॉलोनीज प्लीज यार आप मुझे जो लेफ्टिस्ट मत बोलो भाई. आई एम वेयरिंग एक्सपेंसिव वॉच, एक्सपेंसिव शूज. मैं लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ लेफ्टिस्ट. मुझे लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं पसंद है. और मोदी जी मनमोहन सिंह से ज्यादा लेफ्टिस्ट है इकोनॉमी में.
First of all, Tehseen, thank you so much for being here. With utmost gratitude. Been looking forward to your debates, been looking forward to all the podcasts you have done. So much of intellect, so much of intellectual aura I can feel at this moment. I'm very grateful. In fact, the whole team is very grateful for your presence here.
Thank you, Aftab. Thank you for having me. And it's my pleasure to be on the AP podcast. I heard such wonderful things about you, especially from Iyer, who I love. I love her to death. So she told me. He likes to be called she.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Either or, you can call Iyer anything. So point is that Iyer is like somebody I really, really adore. And once Iyer called, it had to happen. I know we've been wanting to do this for some time. Yeah. So I'm sorry I couldn't make time earlier, but today I had to do this.
And even I said this to Iyer, sir. I want to tell you this thing. This is a compliment. Like, I think in India, there are very few people who are podcast type people who actually know how a podcast works and how you take that conversation in a podcast. Usually it sounds like an interview, but you are really that podcast type personality.
Thank you. Gratitude. Thank you. I just try. I'm just myself. See, the thing about a podcast is you can't pretend to be somebody. The internet will catch you.
It shows your real side.
Yeah, you have to be your real side. So I am me. This is who I am.
When you have been to so many podcasts and you go to news debates, do you feel the differentiation?
Absolutely. Because in news debates, they want to push in a point of view, or you need to push in your point of view, right? It's about point scoring. It's almost like boxing. In a podcast, it's conversation. It's almost like dancing. So you and I will do a dance, right? And we will merge. It'll be a dance. It'll be a beautiful symphony. It'll be amazing. And that's what the audience will see. If you and I are debating, it's a boxing match. Or it's an MMA match. We got to get the other guy down. I want to score a point. You want to score a point. Here, it doesn't matter who's scoring a point in a podcast. It's our podcast. We are doing it. When the AP podcast does well, it's not about T or it's not about Aftab. It's about us. It's about our podcast doing well. In a debate, it's about me versus you, Congress versus BJP, Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. It's too much of versus. This is better. This is symphony.
So does it affect your mental health sometimes? When you are in such a heated
I have no
argument?
mental we have no jokes apart. No, it doesn't. So what keeps me sane is my meditation.
Okay.
So my meditation keeps me very sane.
The tantric meditation, if you had mentioned this on the podcast, right?
Tantra. I follow something called Radha Tantra. It's one of the 112 meditations that Shiva's given the world. Shiva gave Parvati 112 meditations. All right? There is nothing in the world beyond these 112 meditations. There is nothing. Out of these 112, there is something for anybody and everybody. There's nothing beyond it. You can choose any of these. Out of this, I've chosen Radha Tantra. It's something I practice. But meditation does not have to only be tantric or any other form. Meditation is getting in touch with your inner self. Is helping yourself evolve, be a better person. That's what meditation is. Is going deeper within you. Is seeking answers within you. And I love doing that. So that keeps me sane. So even like while coming here around 11:30, well, I was we're shooting now in the afternoon. I spent 20 minutes visualizing the podcast, doing gratitude that I'm doing
Oh.
it. Yeah. So
I'm
was
glad
doing-
we were part of the visualization process.
You were, yeah. So I was visualizing it. I was doing gratitude. I was like grateful that I'm coming here. I've got the opportunity to speak. Right? All of this I visualized at some point that I want to do this, and today I'm living that. So I've got to be grateful for it. So I was doing my gratitude, and I was very, very happy. And what's amazing is, I see the Van Gogh behind you.
Yeah.
I love Van Gogh. I just love Van. You know, Van Gogh wrote amazing letters to his brother.
To father?
Brother.
Brother.
And such F romantic letters. Can we use the F word?
Yeah.
आप censor करोगे?
No. Please
Such
be uncensored.
fucking beautiful word letters he wrote. His letters are fucking literature in itself. Here you have this artist, right, who
Yeah.
cut off his ear.
Huh.
You know a story, right?
A bit. A
Yeah.
bit.
This is the artist, right? He wrote such beautiful letters. His letters are also literature in themselves. So I love that.
So it gave you the vibe check basically.
I love the vibe here. It's a fabulous vibe.
And moving towards your own personal journey, you are someone who supports Congress,
Yeah.
but you're not officially part of Congress, and you
No.
have given your reasoning multiple times for this. But I have another point of view here that I wanted to ask. That is it because you want to stay in that intellectual zone, or if I may say this, the Chanakya zone, that you want to be someone who is a kingmaker, not the king. So that's why you avoid mainstream politics and give your perspective towards the people who are ruling.
No, I have not thought so much about it. I'm very clear that I'm anti-BJP. Extremely clear on it.
Always.
Always. I can't. There is absolute no doubt in my mind that BJP has to be defeated if India has to move forward and progress. BJP has to be defeated. There is no doubt in my mind. So that, like Arjun's arrow looking at the fish of the eye, I'm very clear. The eye of the fish, I'm very clear that BJP has to be defeated. That I'm very clear about. Why I haven't joined mainstream politics is simply because at this point I just thought I haven't got that sign from the universe. It'll happen. I know it'll happen. I'm very clear it'll happen. But that sign hasn't come yet. It has to happen at the right moment. But right now that hasn't happened. Also, I'm really enjoying the space I'm in right now. Right? So I can say what I want. I'm really
You're free basically.
totally. I love this freedom that I have. I can say so. Even if BJP does something good, I can praise it, right? Because not everybody does everything bad. Correct? They also do good things. It's not that they're bad. It's just that I think they have to be defeated. It's not bad people. That doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't make them terrible people. I'm opposed to them, right? So if I like something they do, I can praise it. If I don't like something Congress does, I can criticize it. Why do I have to be boxed up? Your thing out there is think outside the box, right?
Yeah.
You have it out there. Think outside
Yeah.
the box. Why do I have to be boxed up? I like being outside the box. Why does a box restrict me? I don't want to be restricted. I love being outside the box.
Or is it because you want to play safe here?
No, I love being outside the box.
Huh.
What's safe? There's no safe. There is no safe. The word safe does not exist in my
In
dictionary.
Indian politics.
In my dictionary.
In your dictionary.
In Indian politics, it exists. People are very safe. They're very, very safe. I'm not. There's no safety in my thing. I do what I want, but outside the box. I'm too much of a alpha to play safe, or too much of a. And I'm also chutzpah. You know what's chutzpah?
Oh.
Okay, so I'll tell you what's chutzpah. A man goes to a bank, robs the bank, takes all the money. They put it in a bag and they give it to him. Then he goes to the next counter. He said, "Paise mere account mein deposit kar do." That's chutzpah. I'm too much of chutzpah. You think I play safe? Are you mad? There's no safety.
There's no safety for
No,
that.
no. But I'm not stupid and reckless.
Huh.
I'm very sensitive to people and needs. I will not be rude or I will not be arrogant. And I think outside the box. So I can't be boxed up. You can't box me. I have too many various things to do to be boxed up as just a Congress politician or just there's much more to life than that. And I love life. I love living life. यार तो एक ही चीज क्यों करे? I love my life.
You think that if you go into mainstream politics, it might take away certain things that you enjoy in your life?
No. At this point, I have not got a call from the universe to be 24/7 just doing that. It's not that I don't do politics. I love doing politics and I love it. But there are other things I love to do as well. Spend time with my friends, meet great people, evolve, write, poetry, Van Gogh. I love this. So why? And I love giving my meditation, the space to myself. I value those things also a lot. I really value those things a lot.
And
So the other day, like, I was fascinated and I was just spending 20 minutes, 25 minutes reading about this amazing painting, The Last Supper, which is a brilliant painting that's done. And just went to the history of that art and how the painting survived World War II, everything. It survived monks. That painting has been distorted, The Last Supper. And I'm just like, I was mind blown. And suddenly I was in another world and enjoying the painting of the artist who's painted the Mona Lisa and Leonardo da Vinci. And I'm just like, wow. So I love my life. I want to do all of that.
I didn't know this side personally because
Well, I love this side of mine. So I have this very, very political side, right? It's very out there. And of course it's out there because I'm on TV 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm fighting, I'm putting my opinion on social media, and I'm unapologetic about it. Like, read my lips. I'm absolutely unapologetic about my opinions. Then there is another side which I love exploring.
But
Like, I could just sit in a cafe and just chill and sit alone. And I love it. Or I could just sit and meditate. And you don't have to meditate in the caves, huh? You can meditate in a cafe. You can meditate in a bus. You can meditate in a car. So I just love being by myself, chilling, understanding why people behave in a certain way. I love it. Yeah.
And when you say that you are someone who is anti-BJP,
Yeah.
okay, you have your reasons for it that
Political.
we'll discuss later on. But when you say this, there will be a decent amount of people who will say that you are a leftist.
अरे मैं लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ. I think left alumni please. यार आप मुझे जो लेफ्टिस्ट मत बोलो भाई. I am wearing a expensive watch, expensive shoes. मैं लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ लेफ्टिस्ट. मुझे लेफ्टिस्ट नहीं पसंद है. How can I be leftist?
So how would you define yourself?
I am centrist.
Proper centrist.
Proper centrist. Economically right of center, which BJP is not. BJP is left of center. Please. Wake up, smell the coffee. BJP is left of center. और मोदी जी मनमोहन सिंह से ज़्यादा लेफ्टिस्ट है इकोनॉमी में. They are right socially.
Huh.
But yes, I am left of center socially. So I think people should. I absolutely believe in liberty. I absolutely believe in fundamental rights of people to live and let live. I absolutely believe it is not the government's business to see who is bonking whom. Whether they are of what gender, what religion, what caste. It is not the government's business. I absolutely believe it is not the government's business to see who is eating what. It is not the government's business to get into your personal space and ask you to fill a declaration form if you're living in with somebody, as they're doing in Uttarakhand. I think all of this is stupid, and I'm anti that. So I'm all for liberty. Who loves who eats what, who stays in with who is happy with who's singing what songs, who's making what speeches. As long as those speeches aren't inciting violence right away or later on, I think it's fine. So I'm anti government coming into personal space. I don't like government coming into universities. I don't like government coming into public spaces and cramping liberty. I don't like government getting into your business. I think government is meant to govern on a macro level, not on a micro level. So I'm anti. So that way, I'm pro-liberty. But that also makes me right-wing, you see, because actually the world over the right wants less government.
Right or conservative?
Conservative. So that also makes me conservative, because actually right and conservative. They want less government. So I'm very less government type. So I don't know यार मुझे left क्यों बोलते हैं, तो कम government बोलो. And actually Modi ji is so left, honestly, क्योंकि तो हर चीज में बीजेपी घुस रही है.
Can you explain this a bit?
किचन में क्या खा रहे हो, लिव इन कर रहे हो तो फॉर्म भरो. ये तो लेफ्ट वालों का, ये कहाँ से आ गए? Conservatives don't like, they want less government.
अच्छा.
That's how it is. what is the guy won in Argentina right now? That guy's the new president. Phenomenal. He went over a hacksaw. You know, a hacksaw.
Yeah.
A hacksaw saying cut off the government. He's now president. So the conservatives or the right wing want less government. India is the only country where the right wing wants more government. It's all a confusion. India में कोई right left नहीं है और मैं बिल्कुल ही left नहीं हूँ. Please.
And whenever you go on debates, there is one thing, even in podcasts also you mention about BJP, that is the unemployment part. But I just want to mention some readout parts here that I got from some news articles, news publications, and from some bureaucrats. This is recently Mr. Surjit Bala, who is an economist.
I read his paper with Karan Baseen.
Yeah. So you know perhaps that he was the economic advisor to Mr. Bajpayee during his tenure as Prime Minister. So he said that the job creation by the Modi government has been the highest on record. Never before in Indian history have so many jobs been created on an average basis. Something close to 10 million jobs over the last 7 to 8 years. And the thing, just let me please complete this.
You also can't read it. Yeah, it's understood Karan
And
Baseen.
then another
And
thing
he's
that
an
they
EPF
mention here,
data.
that India has become world's third largest startup destination with over 98,000 startups and over 111 unicorns.
True. Yeah, I'm denying it. But where are the jobs? The startup part is true, but a lot of these startups are now facing closure or uncertain futures because the startup winter across the globe, that's not limited to India, let's be fair to the government, but also because of lack of policies in India with regards to startups. You see, having a startup that manufactures a glass, I'm just giving a very basic example. I mean, you can call it a startup that manufactures a glass. What is in honest terms versus, so you're calling that a startup and you can add that in that data, right? But versus where is your chat GPT that India should have made by now, an equivalent to that, or where's your AI breakthrough? So my question is, yes, you do have all these startups coming up, right? So your podcast is also a startup.
Could
It
be.
is. No, could be. No, it is a startup, right? You guys are doing this. It's phenomenal, and that's more power to you. So why not? That's also a startup. But it's a podcast, right? And it's great, and it'll do well. But it comes into the context of a startup. But where is the startups when we talk about is the breakthrough, the chat GPT, something new, something big in quantum. That's not happened, right? Again, because of lack of clarity in certain sections of startups, for example, AI finance, most of these firms are now being registered in Dubai or Singapore. You don't have clarity here. So you have those jobs moving out. It's great to cite this data. And again, I'm not denying that there aren't two startups coming. I'm not denying it. But, so I have a friend, okay, I'm going to say this out loud. She's a very dear friend of mine. She and her partner, they make sex toys. Right? It's a startup. They make sex toys. And why I do know so much about it is that at one point they asked me, since I do invest in businesses, would I like to invest in it? And I thought it was interesting. Let me look at it. Except there's no legislation in India for sex toys. It's still criminalized. Now, is this a startup or not a startup? Is it a legal startup or an illegal startup? Ultimately, what is she doing? She's saying, look, it's too tough to manufacture here. Why not just import it from China? So I'm just saying the government is in your bedroom seeing who's using whips or handcuffs or whatever. It's not the government's business. But I didn't get into the business. I did introduce you to a few people, but the point was the legality. So unless you don't get through with legality and come out with solutions, your startups will never flourish. And what do startup entrepreneurs require? Let me ask you, Aftab, what do you require? Can you do business? Can you do a podcast with a gun on your head and saying that if this podcast is too anti-government or too anti-Congress or whatever, we'll blow your brains off or we'll put you in jail for ED or you'll be under pressure? No, you'll be screwed. You'll be like, what the hell? You won't be able to sort of give your best, right? Because it has to be a flow. Similarly, in the startup or in any business, with ED breathing down your neck, with the tax terrorism happening now under BJP, and there is tax terrorism. Why is every rich person moving to Dubai? Why is every rich person buying a house in Dubai? Everybody about 70, 80 crores has bought a house in Dubai. Come to Dubai right now with me. You'll see Pune and Mumbai and Delhi there.
A developed version of Mumbai and Delhi.
Cleaner version, developed version, less pollution. Why? Everyone who's above 80 crores has a house there. Why? because it's 2 hours away. It's a hop, skip, jump. But so, why are people moving away? Why have over 2 lakh people given up Indian citizenship? That's the question to ask. Yeah, boss, citizenship giving up is a very difficult thing. Like, I would never give it up. I have the fucking Indian flag tattooed, the great Indian flag tattooed on my. I'll never give it up.
So your whole debate to when
People leaving. You have the highest number of suicides, NCRB data, about 1,25,000 last year. Most of them are unemployed people. People are ready to go to Israel and Russia to work in the army. What the fuck? You're saying there's the greatest employment? Just come out of that ivory tower and look down, bro. Like, there's the highest unemployment. And that is the reality. You can make up data. Bro, you can say inflation is low, or it's only 3%. It's People are suffering because of lack of jobs, lack of opportunities, and price rise. And that is the reality. And you can make up any numbers, and numbers can be read any way you want.
But it is also happening in some Western states like US as well. Like, you're not having a job there. Like, just recently a friend
What's their economy size?
But that's not the thing.
What's their per capita income size?
Obviously larger
What is
than
their
India.
social security? वहाँ पे आपको social security में क्या है?
But jobs are also not there, na, right?
Again, I'm not denying it. First of all, I don't know why I should be compared to the West.
Huh.
Did the Prime Minister tell me when I was electing him, I'll give you 2 crores, but now listen, America's screwed, so you're also screwed. Did he say that? He should have put terms and conditions, no? He didn't put, na? He said, मैं दूंगा, तो 2, 1. आपने कहा था ना दोगे, आपने तब टर्म्स और कंडीशंस लगाए थे, ऐसे नहीं वैसे. Number 1. Number 2, I agree with the global factors, but then don't show off that you're the 5th largest economy in the world and the 4th, because the problem with that is your per capita income is 127th. So what's the point of being the 5th largest, which I'm very proud of, when you're the per capita income 127th? That means only few people are rich, the rest of the people are poor. If you're the 5th largest economy or the 4th largest economy in the world, which we are, and I'm proud of that, that means very few, and you're still per capita 127th. That means very few people are rich, the rest of them are extremely poor. Isn't that true?
So how do you see this?
You have to get your per capita income up. And the way to get your per capita income up is to create more businesses. And the way to create more businesses or startups is to have less government. And the way to have less government is to have less tax terrorism, to have less government interfere in your lives, to stop restricting people.
So before the Modi era, when Congress was there, you feel the government was less government and people had much more liberty?
Liberty, definitely. I think they were much more liberal. I don't believe on the fact that... I also think economy did fairly better compared to what Modi ji's done. But liberty was much more. You could say whatever you wanted. You could protest. I'm not saying there weren't aberrations. I'm not saying there weren't things that were not done wrong by them. Of course, that's why they went out of power. I'm not defending that. But then you can go back to the era of the emergency. Does that justify it? Does it justify? The point is, democracy should always evolve. The problem with BJP is, and this is my problem with BJP, any argument you make to them, they say, पर पहले ऐसे था. भाई पहले था इसलिए आप आए ना. Your podcast, from your first podcast to today, your podcast with me, would have been an evolution journey.
Yeah.
Perhaps for the better. If this podcast is fucked up, can you go back and say, no, my first podcast was fucked up, so I'll justify this podcast? Will you do it, Aftab? Will you do it? So how can the government say, no, first this happens, so we are also justified in doing it? Well,
but it's like you mention everywhere that the reason that you support Congress is because you really support the idea of Congress.
The idea
but
of
when
India.
we really go into the idea of Congress, there are some major blunders that the Congress has done.
Of course.
They say, for the BJP, they say if Modi comes in power again, he will shatter the constitution. But it was done by Indira Gandhi way back during the time of emergency.
And that was wrong.
And Ambedkar and Nehru were against of inclusion of that word secularism.
But only secularism is not included, even socialism.
Socialism, yeah.
Yeah, so the point is that there are 2 issues to this. Number 1, emergency was wrong, period. You can't justify it. How can you justify it? It was wrong. It was a wrong thing done by the Congress, and Congress has suffered for it. And it should never happen again. But what happened after emergency? We talk about secularism and socialism. That's fine. What we don't talk about is something called the basic structure of the constitution evolved by the court. The court evolved something called the basic structure, saying that these are fundamental rights that no matter what government comes with a full majority, they can't take it away. Right to life, right to liberty, right to equality, right to justice, right to free speech. These can never be taken away. It's a basic structure of the constitution. Today what's happening? The Vice President of India and the Chairperson of Rajya Sabha says, oh, basic structure, what is it? The ex-Chief Justice who's in Parliament, thanks to the BJP, says, oh, basic structure. Today you're attacking that basic structure. The basic structure that protects Aftab, no matter what happens, from not going to jail. No matter, even if it's a government with 542 MPs, they cannot put you in jail and take away your free speech or your liberty. Today what's happened, look at so many cases. The innocent are in jail, they continue to be in jail, they continue to languish in jail.
By innocent, you are referring to politicians?
I'm referring to everybody. You are innocent until proven guilty. That's the law of,
ED.
that's the law of justice. Right? In justice, you should be innocent until proven guilty. That maxim is being turned around. You're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Why? That's not democracy. If Aftab is guilty until he proves himself innocent to the state, Aftab will never be able to prove himself innocent because the balance of power lies with the state. Therefore, the maximum injustice is you're innocent till proven guilty. That's been turned around. People are languishing in jail. Tell me the reforms that you've done. Tell me the institutions you built stronger.
You are asking this to
The BJP. What have they done? Which institution have they made stronger? Have they made the judiciary stronger? Have they made media stronger? Have they made any institution that they made stronger?
When they talk about that,
The RTI stronger?
medical colleges and roads have been...
Those are not institutions. I'm talking institutional. That'll safeguard your constitutional rights. Is today judiciary stronger or weaker? Media stronger or weaker? I'm talking about those institutions. Are today your police force across the country stronger or weaker? Or is there a biased police force?
Biased police force?
That works on the instructions of the government. Is your election commission today a stronger institution or a weaker institution than what it was? Those are the questions to be asked. And that's for people to judge. If police are arresting people and putting them in jail, and they're now guilty until they prove themselves innocent, these police officers are also not fulfilling their duty towards the constitution. The first 3 words of our constitution are we the people, hum Bharat ke log. We are topmost. How dare you listen to some politician and do what is illegal? Why? And let me come to a political point. Why should have Arvind Kejriwal be in jail? What was the evidence against him? Nothing. You come make up things and you put a sitting chief minister in jail? That's not right. That's not democratic. That's not the way of how democracy should work. This is the greatest country in the world. In the world. This is not how it should be treated. You can't put political opponents in jail this way. And now you'll go back, oh, but an emergency that happened. Of course it happened. It was bloody wrong. Doesn't make you doing it right. That's the problem. And these officers who are doing it should also think about it. Time will change. Time will change. Their loyalty should be to the constitution, not to the government, not to any government. Tomorrow when I run the country, their loyalty should not be to me, it should be to the constitution. They should have the guts, the spine to stand up and tell, no sir, you're wrong, we will not do this. Look at this, look at the hate speeches being made by the BJP in these elections. Hate speeches.
By PM Modi.
Including by the Honorable Prime Minister. मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी, मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी, मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी. अरे भाई आप 10 साल में क्या किया उसका बोलो ना. मुस्लिम मंगलसूत्र मच्छी क्या है? मंगलसूत्र तब नहीं गए महिलाओं के जब कोविड चल रहा था. तब तो अपने ऑक्सीजन पे जीएसटी लिया था. That is the problem. Shouldn't the election commission stand up and say stop this? You can say Congress is polarizing. I know that's going to be the next argument. They are polarizing one section. Okay, they are polarizing. BJP is polarizing the other. ठीक है यार, इस तरह के speeches हो रहे हैं. Yesterday, Amit Shah ji says, or day before says in Maharashtra, if Congress comes to power, they'll put Sharia laws. Can this be allowed? I'm really asking you, can this be allowed? And it's justified. Master stroke. रोज रात को 9 बजे इस पे ताली बजती है. अरे मास्टर स्ट्रोक हो गया. क्या अच्छा बोला. Media's also got weaker. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. What is wrong, you must stand up and say is wrong. No matter who says it. And if Rahul Gandhi says something wrong, like when he spoke on Shakti, he was wrong, I said it's wrong. Have the guts to call out a wrong. When that Stalin said on Sanatan Dharma, it was wrong, I have the guts. Have the guts to call out a wrong, whether it's done by Modi ji or it's done by Stalin or done by Rahul Gandhi ji. That is being a true Indian. That is being a true alpha. नहीं मोदी जी ने कहा तो सही कहा होगा, राहुल जी ने कहा तो सही कहा होगा, स्टैलिन जी ने कहा तो सही कहा होगा. काय का सही कहा? काय सनातन धर्म को गाली दे रहे हो? गलत है.
Hmm.
Must have the guts to say it's wrong.
Have you said this to Congress when you meet
हाँ,
them?
मेरा ट्वीट्स पब्लिक ही होते हैं. मैं कौन सा किसी से छुपाता तुम्हारे पॉडकास्ट में इतना चिल्ला कर बोल रहा हूँ. तो listen, I'm going to say what I want, and that's now coming back to your question. Why I don't join is because I love this. I can say the Prime Minister is wrong when he is wrong. I can say
The Congress is wrong
when they are wrong. I can say Stalin is wrong when they're wrong. I can say what I want.
हाँ.
I don't care. और मुझे किसी से ना कुछ लेना है ना कुछ देना है. तो क्या करूँ? मुझे कुछ चाहिए ही नहीं इनसे.
And when you talked about personal laws about religion, so again BJP goes back to this thing that Congress during the time of Nehru had implemented these two laws, that Hindu Marriage/Divorce Act and Muslim Divorce/Marriage Act, and Muslim Act was basically governed by Muslim personal law, where actually polygamy was allowed, but when it came to Hindu Act, bigamy was also something which was a criminal offense. So again,
तो इनको पॉलीगमी करनी है.
नहीं. I'm coming to the point here that I am completely in favor that UCC should not become something which is a means to harass the youth. Obviously, you have no right to see who is doing what in their rooms. But if something like uniformed comes in, which covers all aspects of religion, and there is no personal law for one particular religion, isn't that something that we should have?
I love it. ले आओ. कौन रोका है इनको?
Yeah.
कौन रोका है इनको? लाए ना उत्तराखंड में. What did they do in Uttarakhand? It's not uniform civil code. It's Uttarakhand civil code. Why we kept tribals out? Tribals are not part of our Indian citizens. Tribals are not Indian citizens. क्यों उनको क्यों बाहर रखा? Why did you make an exception for them? Uniform करता है ना, सबके लिए करो. Do you know in Gujarat there's something called Maitri Karar, where a man who's married can officially have a girlfriend on contract? Yeah, लाओ ना. अब लाओ UCC भाई, लाओ. अब तुम लाओ. You know in Goa, a Hindu man above the age of 30 can remarry if he does not have a boy child and a girl child. बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. लाओ ना. और इनका मुख्यमंत्री बीजेपी का कहता है दिस लॉ विल नॉट गो. ये यूसीसी नहीं है भाई. सी, polygamy amongst Hindus and Muslims is in fact it's higher amongst Hindus than Muslims. Muslims simply, data says they don't have the money to afford it, so polygamy is higher amongst Hindus. But even if you leave the religion aspect out, second thing is children. Hindus and Muslims, the total fertility rate is continuously been coming down, and that's got to do with education. The more middle class you become, your total fertility rate will come down. Third is your inheritance. There are different personal laws. Now, for example, in the Northeast, there are tribes where the property goes to the daughter, the second daughter. So there are different tribes. In South India, there are matriarchal societies. Are you going to change those inheritance laws? यार मेरी प्रॉपर्टी मेरे ट्रेडिशन के हिसाब से मैं दूसरी बेटी को देते हैं, पहली बेटी को. दे गिव इट टू द डॉटर, दे डोंट गिव इट टू द सन. यू वांट टू चेंज दिस? Therefore you got this exception that tribals will not be a part of UCC. Why? Are they not Indians? See, you have to understand one thing. And an average marriage age. It's the same for Hindus and Muslims, by and large. Again, as you get more educated, your average marriage age goes up. Women don't want to get married early. So the average marriage is the same for Hindus and Muslims, by and large. Few months ka difference hoga. I'm talking, these are government data. In fact, there's a Pew study that more Hindu girls, 80% of Hindu girls below the age of 10 get married. 80% of the girls below the age of 10 who get married are Hindu. Right? So now, having said that, what is the UCC? It says it's one common law for marriage, divorce and inheritance. Right? That already exists in India. From Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Northeast, Manipur to Mumbai, Arunachal to Gujarat, there is already one law.
They say that we want to avoid the Kerala story sort of incident. The right says that.
पुलिस सो रही है, पुलिस को अक्ल नहीं है, IB सो रही है, स्टेट इंटेलिजेंस सो रही है, लोग टेररिस्ट बन रहे हैं. So people have to fill up forms for the government who's in the bedroom with who because police is so incompetent. तो पुलिस को बंद कर दीजिए. Have you heard of arguments like this? And these are ridiculous arguments. मतलब वो बेचारे पुलिस वालों को शर्म आती होगी यार, सरकार हमारे बारे में ऐसी बोलती है. Brilliant officers. See, these are great officers, right, in our country. Really great. It's not easy to become an IPS or a state cadre officer. It's goddamn. Imagine you're running them down saying यार we have to avoid this. मतलब मैं समझता हूँ पॉलिटिशियंस बेवकूफ़ है मुझे छोड़कर. बट यार उनको तो मत बेवकूफ़ बनाओ. वो बेचारे यार पढ़ लिख कर IAS बने, IPS बने, स्टेट सब्जेक्ट के ऑफिसर, उनको आप कह रहे हैं उनको पता नहीं हम ये कर रहे हैं। मतलब आप सोचो यार ये बात, थिंक अबाउट इट। ये कोई लॉजिक हुआ, ये कोई तर्क हुआ? और ये तर्क सिर्फ IS वाले के लिए क्यों लागू होता है और कोई एक्सट्रीमिस्ट के लिए लागू नहीं होता? नॉनसेंस। द फैक्ट इज there is a special marriage act that exists. Whoever wants to get married can get married under that. In that marriage act, all of it is common across the length and breadth of this country. And in their personal laws, which allow for certain amount of freedoms and customs as per their traditions. Should those evolve? Will be your natural question. Yes, they should. Absolutely. Why should a Muslim girl get only 1/3 inheritance? She should get half. Absolutely agree with you on that. So please ट्रांसफॉर्म दैट पर्सनल लॉ, उसमें अमेंडमेंट कर लो। क्यों एक मुस्लिम लड़की को कम मिले? आई एग्री विथ यू, प्लीज अमेंड इट। बट customs are customs. For example, in the Northeast, there are some tribes, we're talking inheritance, the inheritance goes to the daughter, not the first, the second daughter. There are many matriarchal tribes in the Northeast. For example, the main house goes to the daughter, not to the son. South India, there are matriarchal tribes. Jungles of Chhattisgarh, there are tribes who follow different customs. What are you going to do? Change their customs? नहीं आप क्यों बेटी को घर दे रहे हो? अरे सरकार कौन है यार इन चीज़ों में आने के लिए? I agree with you. Justice should be given. So you have the special marriage act, or you make those laws, personal laws, just as per the present times. I agree with that. यार उनके customs में, inheritance में आप in these matters you're going, is it the government's job? Where there's blatant indiscrimination. For example, I do believe a Muslim girl should not get 1/3 property, she should get half. Make it, कर दो उसमें अमेंडमेंट। आपके पास तो बहुमत है सर पार्लियामेंट में, उसमें कर दो अमेंडमेंट। यार वो मुसलमान आदमी भी सोचेगा ना, मेरी बेटी को आधा दे रहा हूँ 1/3 के लिए, उसको बुरा भी नहीं लगेगा, कर दो उसके अंदर अमेंडमेंट। उसमें क्या प्रोटेस्ट होगा? सो यू मस्ट वी आर अ वेरी डाइवर्स कंट्री। डोंट लुक एट इट फ्रॉम अ मुस्लिम लेंस. Look at it from the tribal lens, the other lenses. Different people, different customs, they've come together. How many people knew there's Maitri Karar in Gujarat?
I don't think so many.
How many people knew in Goa this can happen with a Hindu man? तो इसे मत करो, ये गलत है. Some people will, we've all come together and formed a beautiful nation. This is our motherland. Why do we have to other the others? Why do you have to make somebody the villain? ये क्यों करना है? वो भी हमारे ही है ना, चाहे वो मुस्लिम हो, चाहे वो सिख हो, चाहे वो ज्यू हो, चाहे वो जैन हो, चाहे वो सेक्सुअल उसकी प्रेफरेंस कोई भी हो, गे हो, बाइसेक्सुअल हो, यार है तो अपने ही लोग ना, है तो अपने ही ना, हम उनको अदर्स कर रहे हैं। ये तो अपना देश है ना, अपने लोग हैं, दे आर वन एनर्जी, वन पीपल, उनको अलग क्यों कर रहे हैं? वाई शुड दे बी अलग यार? हमसे अलग क्यों हो? वो है तो हमारे लोग। ठीक है, चीज़ें होगी, इतने बड़े देश में, इतने विशाल देश में हर चीज़ बराबर नहीं होगी, हर चीज़ में समानता नहीं होगी, मैं भी मानता हूँ, लेकिन अपने लोग यार, अपने लोगों को हम दुश्मन बना रहे हैं, अपने लोगों को हम टारगेट कर रहे हैं, अपने लोगों को हम विलन बना रहे हैं। ऐसे नहीं होता ना। महान देशों, अब महान देश है, महान देश को महान लोग चलाते हैं, महान होने के लिए आपका दिल बड़ा होना चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, मुझे ये लगता है, और मैं इस पर बहुत फर्म हूँ, और मैं आई विल नॉट मिन्स माई वर्ड्स ऑन दिस, चाहे इसमें किसको बुरा लगे ना लगे। कभी हमने सिख्स को विलन बना दिया 84 में, अभी हम मुसलमानों को बना रहे, कभी हम आगे चलते सेक्सुअल माइनॉरिटीज़ को बना देंगे। ऐसे नहीं होता यार, जिसको जो करना है करे, जहाँ रहना है रहे, जिसके साथ रहना है रहे, खुश रहे, बस तुम खुश रहो, देश आबाद रहे, ये हमारी कल्पना।
So BJP is basically creating these villains, you are saying?
Of course they are making villains out of. अरे प्रधानमंत्री जी कह रहे कि मंगलसूत्र निकालते घुसपैठियों को दे दिया जाएगा। भैया अगर 10 साल में घुसपैठी है तो आप प्रधानमंत्री क्यों थे? पूछो ना सवाल उनसे। अगर घुसपैठिए आए देश के अंदर या यहाँ रुके हुए हैं तो 10 साल से प्रधानमंत्री कौन थे? कौन थे प्रधानमंत्री? भैया आप थे प्रधानमंत्री, क्यों नहीं निकाला?
Guspeti as in you are terming Muslims यहाँ पे?
For him it was a cat call for Muslims, a cat whistle for Muslims. But the word Guspetiya means somebody who is intruded into the country illegally. So if people have intruded into the country illegally, he was Prime Minister for 10 years. The literal meaning of Guspetiya is an intruder who's come into the country illegally. He was of course using it as a cat whistle for Muslims. That's not cool, no? That's not cool. You're the greatest. This country's given Modi ji everything. Like, let's be honest. Let me keep this. 10 years prime minister of the greatest country in the world. Matlab, and perhaps he might become a third time. Perhaps, right? It's a close election. I think he's losing, but perhaps वो बन भी जाएंगे. 15 साल रह गए. पर देश ने उनको सब कुछ दिया. इससे ज़्यादा आपको क्या मिलेगा? अब बताओ मुझे. क्या ये शोभा देता है कि आप किसी को घुसपैठिया बोलो? मतलब ये करना ज़रूरी है. आपको सब कुछ मिल गया देश में. इससे ज़्यादा आपको क्या मिल सकता है? मतलब जो चीज़ इज़ द फाइनल वो आपको मिला है. एक नहीं 2 बार मिला है. या सो ब्लेस्ड.
तीसरी बार मिल सकता है.
तीसरी बार मिल सकता है अगर आपने ठीक से लड़ा. मुस्लिम मच्छी खा रहा है ये, वो मुसलमान है, वो मंगलसूत्र लेके टॉपिक है वो. उनका मैनिफेस्टो मुस्लिम लीग जैसा है. बोलने जैसी बात है.
अच्छा, मैनिफेस्टो यू मेंशन, आई वांटेड टू मेंशन अ पॉइंट हियर. दिस इज लाइक आई एम कोटिंग फ्रॉम द मैनिफेस्टो ओनली. पेज नंबर 22 पे ये है.
हाँ पता है मुझे. ये सब बीजेपी वाले यही कोट करते. तुम भी करो.
अरे मैं बीजेपी वाला नहीं हूँ.
पता है मुझे.
We promise that all anti-people laws passed by the BJP/NDA without proper parliament scrutiny and debate, especially those relating to workers, farmers, criminal justice, environment and forest, and digital data protection, will be thoroughly reviewed and changed.
Correct.
My question here is this going towards the 370 debate here?
No, absolutely not.
So Congress is not in favor of restoring Article 370 in
No.
JK?
What they are talking about is ED, for example, where you're guilty until proven yourself innocent. Data protection, where your data, अभी let everyone in your podcast hear me. सबको फोन आता होगा, आप ये खरीद रहे हो, आपका डेटा सब जगह दिख रहा है. Where is the data protection in India today? कहाँ है? Do you get or no calls randomly despite several orders of courts that data should not be hanging around? Where are the data protection laws? Without data protection laws, you cannot grow in Web 3.0. So there's an economic angle to that thing. So data protection comes there. Then they're talking about other laws. So this is basically to do with liberty. Also, in that manifesto, another point is they are okay with LGBTQ unions. They think we will pass the laws to make it. So I think liberty should be there. And I think that our people require data protection. We're getting screwed with these tele companies calling us and harassing us. Our data is everywhere. The danger of data being everywhere is with data being more valuable today than oil and gold. The problem with that is once data is available without any protection like it's in India, the enemies of India can use it to get whatever information. So it also attacks India's sovereignty. I'm saying this with a lot of responsibility. So don't look at it as your data or my data. Think of it as an army officer's data, right? That's easily available everywhere. Now you know he's posted, say, in Delhi, in the cantonment area. Now you have an enemy of the nation. Pakistan में इतनी अक्ल नहीं. China है, उसने निकाल दिया उसका data. They are trying to get through his phone. They are trying to get through his location. I'm not saying everything will be successful, but even if you get 1 or 2, you have somebody who's close to the cantonment in Delhi or working the cantonment. Maybe he's working in armament. They've got through his phone. This data protection has to be important. With Web 3.0, with the kind of AI technology that's come in, advancement in technology, we are still thinking in the old age. Yaar, wo number aayega, phone aayega. That's obsolete. Those are harassment. Look at what China can do today. Look at what the US and the P5 can do today with the kind of technology they have. So don't you think data protection is important?
But China is then again a dictatorship.
I think it's a crappy country. I don't praise it. But I'm saying they have the technology. That's the point I'm making. I think China is a crap country. I don't like it. I like democracies. I have no love lost for China. But that's not the point. The point is, do they have the technology or no? And therefore, is Chinese data available like how Indian data is available? That's the question. Look, we can get into any debate. Is Indian data freely available or no? Everyone's data is available everywhere. That's the point. Don't you need that? That they came up with that app during COVID. I forgot.
Coven.
No.
Arogya Setu.
हाँ. What happened to that? Where's all that data gone? किसी ने पूछा है? सबको बोला download करो. Your boy never downloaded it. Your boy was too smart. I will tell you someday. I'll tell you how I would go through efforts without the. But where is that app gone? Where is that data gone? कितना मिलियन डाउनलोड हुआ था? 600-700 मिलियन डाउनलोड. कहाँ गया वो डेटा? कोई पूछा ये सवाल? भैया वो डेटा है किधर? They had your freaking phone number. They had your house address, whatever they had. They had your location enabled. Your data has gone missing, bro. Arogya Setu knows Aftab is here with tea, having
tea.
poha. No, I'm not a tea person. I'm a black coffee person. But tea is me. So Arogya Setu से ये Aftab इधर है. आओ बच्चा. वो डेटा गया कहाँ भाई? That's what I'm saying. अब कोई सवाल ही नहीं पूछता. पूछो तो बोलते आप देशद्रोही हो.
बेच दो मतलब
देशद्रोही हो.
देशद्रोही हो.
फिर ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछते तो बोलते आप देश के लिए नहीं सोचते हो.
बट नाउ पीपल से कि जो इंडिया का करंट सिनेरियो है, इट हैज़ बिकम कम्प्लीटली अनअपोलोजेटिक, एंड दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन टू यू दैट why should I support Congress, a party who supported a separatist leader like Yasin Malik and gave it an international forum, invited him to the Prime Minister's office at that time, who supported leaders like Sayyid Gilani and gave them an international forum, a party who is supporting explicitly, giving money to these people so that they will feel that ये वहाँ जाके हमारा agent बनेंगे. So if the party, Congress party supporting people like these, why should I support them? Why should I support Congress?
All right, that's a valid question to ask. And I'm glad that the government came down on extremists. That part I'm glad with the BJP. On the extremists in Kashmir. So I'm glad about that. But are we saying that there was no development in Kashmir before BJP came for 2014? Tell me one project, just one project, that the BJP is inaugurated and completed. Every project that the BJP is inaugurating there is done by the Congress.
In JK.
In JNK. Every. Secondly, let's talk numbers. We can talk anything. Infant mortality, JNK is better than many states, including worst is Uttar Pradesh. Doctors per citizen, much more in JNK than most states of India. Other parameters, human development index, JNK better than even the state of Gujarat. So are we saying no work happened in JNK? So first, there was work happening in JNK. I went to JNK in 2012. One of my really close friends, Bollywood actor, he's one of the biggest actors in the country. He was shooting a movie there he was dating with this girl. She's also a very big actor. They were shooting there. We were hanging around freely in 2012. We were shooting. I wore a flag pin. There was something anti-India. See, I'm not saying I'm in favor of 370 going. I was very much in favor of 370 going. That's great. I am saying how many new industries have come up since 370 gone? The answer is as many as the Prime Minister's press conference is 0. How many of our Pandit fellow citizens have removed to Jammu and Kashmir? The answer is 0. Are there still killings in Jammu and Kashmir after the revocation of?
But it has reduced, right?
Of course it's reduced, but 2 साल COVID भी था, इसलिए data कम हुआ. But in that, I am happy it's reduced. But it's still happening, in which Hindus are being targeted. You agree on that? Then, so the fact is, I am happy that 370 is gone. I am great. But the fact also remains that none of our Pandit fellow citizens have gone back. The fact also remains that no industry is coming. That still remains. No land. Which outsiders bought a land in Jammu and Kashmir? The fact also remains that Ladakh now on Schedule 6 of the Constitution, they want their autonomy back. They don't want outsiders to buy land. And look, I am again saying I am for 370 to go. But where is the Nagaland agreement that the Prime Minister did in 2016-17? 2 months he was supposed to make it public. And those insurgents have repeatedly said on record that what has been put in that agreement is a separate flag for Nagaland, a separate parliament. Now, the government may deny it. Why make the agreement public? Make it public. Why should it be hidden from public? Why? So see, a great country was conceived where they said, look, some states will have a certain amount of autonomy to different levels. So in Himachal, an outsider cannot buy farmland. In many of the northeastern states, you cannot go and settle there. Similarly, Jammu and Kashmir, you have to look at it in that context. That it was problematic, I agree, because there was a terrorism issue and we removed it. I'm in favor of that. But it's not that it was only for Jammu and Kashmir autonomy. Some areas in Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh also have under 371 certain degree of autonomy. There are district areas that have been created by the BJP. So there are tribal autonomous regions created. You'll always have autonomous regions in a big country like India. Certain amount of autonomy will be given. That was constitutionally given. It's given in 371 to various parts. 370 was there. You removed it, it's great. Supreme Court ruled in your favor, that's fabulous. And I'm for it.
But why Congress doesn't support removal of Article 370?
I think Congress did. They said that the way it was removed was wrong, which I also think that and this is my technical argument, if 370 was removed and when it was removed, that means the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir went. That means the Constitution of India applied wholly and fully on Jammu and Kashmir. Then Article 21, Article 19, Article 14 applied. How can you take away liberty by putting people in house arrest or curfew? How can telephone lines be cut? That's my problem. यार वो भी तो अपने ही लोग हैं ना यार. एक दंगा नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ. वो कश्मीर की पुलिस भी हमारी पुलिस है ना, है तो हमारी लोग ना यार. उन पे हम विश्वास नहीं करेंगे. अगर हम इंटीग्रेशन कर रहे हैं तो उन पे भी विश्वास करो ना यार. है तो अपने ही लोग हैं ना, अपने से अलग तो नहीं है ना. ठीक है, हो सकता है कि उनके मन में कुछ गलत फहमी हो सकती है, हो सकता है उन्हें कुछ दुख भी लग सकता है तो अपने ही लोग ना, पराए तो नहीं. आपने उनका लैंडलाइन काट दिया. आप इंटरनेट 3G 4G नहीं देते, 2G तो दे देते यार. सारा योर होल बिजनेस इज ऑन इंटरनेट. 2 महीना आपने इंटरनेट बंद किया till I went to court.
2 महीने नहीं, 1.5 साल.
But 2G started when I went to court. So I was the first to go to court on this. फिर 2G स्टार्ट हुआ 2-2.5 महीने के बाद. पर 1.5 साल इंटरनेट बंद किया. ये ठीक है, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ.
नहीं, ठीक नहीं है.
आई डोंट एग्री विद दिस. आपने लोगों को घर में बंद किया, उसके बाद कोविड आया, 3-4 साल उनका लाइफ का खराब हो गया. ये नहीं होता है ना. जो we have to not think of people as others. We have to think of people as ours. इतने बड़े लोग, इतने बड़े देश में अलग अलग लोगों में हमेशा कोई ना कोई समस्या, तनाव होगा.
बट तहसीन, फिर आप यासिन मलिक वाली डिबेट पे क्या बोलोगे?
नहीं, यासिन मलिक तो अपना है ही नहीं ना. अगर उसने हमारे
बट कांग्रेस तो उसको अपना मान रही थी.
नहीं, कांग्रेस ने उससे रीच आउट किया जैसे इन्होंने नागा इंसर्जेंट से रीच आउट किया. डिफरेंट गवर्नमेंट्स, देखो कोई भी गवर्नमेंट देश के खिलाफ नहीं होती. देन बाय दैट सेम लॉजिक द सेम नागा इंसर्जेंट्स who waged an attacks on India, on Indian territory. Why are we talking to them? Why did we talk to other rebels? Why are we talking to even Naxalites? We talk, no? We encourage them to come into mainstream.
But we are not giving them a forum, right?
We encourage them to come in mainstream. We are encouraging them to come in mainstream. Have we not encouraged them to come in mainstream? Today the BJP was in alliance with Tripura Liberation Front in Tripura. What is their agenda? So they were also extremists. At one point the Akali Dals were extremists. Do you know the kind of autonomy Akali Dal wanted in Punjab or the Dravidian parties wanted in Tamil? But they've also now come. They said, no, we don't. You should read about that. They also wanted autonomy. Look at the autonomy they wanted in Punjab or they wanted in Tamil. Are the Dravidians not our people? We spoke to them. We negotiated with them. We got them into the mainstream. No? Same with the Akalis. They are people. They also wanted a certain amount of autonomy for Punjab. They are in the mainstream. आप बातचीत नहीं करोगे तो कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये आदमी बातचीत करने के लायक ही है नहीं. टुडे आई एम वेरी क्लियर वी शुडंट टॉक टू पाकिस्तान, एब्सोल्युटली. बट एट सम पॉइंट यू वुड हैड टू टॉक टू नो कि यार इसकी हैसियत नहीं बात करने की, तब मैं बात नहीं करूँगा, अब इससे बात नहीं करूँगा. बट जानोगे कैसे जब तक बात नहीं करोगे? तो आई एम नॉट accepting what Congress did with Yasin Malik. I am saying governments have different approach. There will be a hard approach. Along with that, there also has to be an approach to talk to people. I am not saying talk to Yasin Malik. I am not in favor of it. But I am saying it's not something out of the blue. But I'm glad that the government is strict on Yasin.
But like Congress was also bit apologetic with their beliefs and their actions. As in during the 26/11 attack happened, that time NSA was Mr. Shiv Shankar Menon. He wrote this in his book. कि उस time he presented this plan to Dr. Manmohan Singh that this is how we should act on this. It was like a surgical strike sort of thing. But then he said, no, we don't war. We don't want to go to war. But then when you see this under BJP's rule, they are actually unapologetic about their actions and they are willing to take the action.
And I'm glad. I love what they did in Balakot. Yeah. Balakot mein, even hypothetically, if no one died, hypothetically, I know people died, but even hypothetically no one died. हम उनके घर में घुसते मारे, उनका प्लेन ने पकड़ा, हम उनके रेडार्स ने हमारे प्लेन को नहीं पकड़ा, बढ़िया किया, ठोक कर आए. आई लव इट. बट व्हाई इजंट दिस अग्रेशन विद चाइना? व्हाई इजंट दिस अग्रेशन विद चाइना? वहाँ क्यों नहीं? वहाँ जयशंकर जी क्यों कहते वी कांट फाइट विद अ बिगर इकॉनमी? कहाँ ना उन्होंने स्मिता प्रकाश के पॉडकास्ट में? क्यों? तो इन 1968 at Nathula and Chola, Indira ji as Prime Minister, we defeated China at Nathula and Chola. And we had lost the war prior to that with China. We defeated them, gave them a bloody nose. We did Operation Falcon. We took Arunachal Pradesh. Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister looked at China in the eye, made Arunachal Pradesh a state. When China claimed Arunachal Pradesh from a union territory, made it a state. Indian Operation Checkerboard happened. General Sundarji deployed the Indian forces on the border with China. China had to go back. Why is the same thing not with China? That's the point. Glad we are this aggressive with Pakistan. But is this the first time we are aggressive with Pakistan? No. Who broke Pakistan into two? Congress. दो टुकड़े कर दिए पाकिस्तान के. ठीक ठाक सबक सिखा दिया उनको. Okay. I love this. I love this new assertion. But this new assertion should also be with China.
But
Why not?
But at least they are standing their part, right? They might not do
What
it
happened
immediately.
What happened in Doklam? Today that area, which is not for your viewers, Doklam is not Indian territory. Today it's gone. Today the other countries compromised and it's gone with China. So today what's happening today? Nepal on its 100 rupee note has put parts of India.
It happened.
Then Nepal. So lovely we put Pakistan down. I love it. I mean, I don't like the country. Great, put them down. नेपाल अभी आपके उनके 100 रुपए के नोट पे हमारी टेरिटरी थोड़ा सा हमें भी पॉज करते. What happened in Maldives? We lost there. We lost the plot there. We knew that the new president was coming. We knew what the agenda was. The agenda was kick out Indian soldiers. That was the election campaign. क्यों नहीं किया? What was Raw Desk doing? So see, again I say, I love it that Yasin Malik is suffering behind jail. May he rot. I don't like the guy. He must rot. I'm glad Pakistan is put in its place. But bhaiya, my story doesn't end with Pakistan. Pakistan is one chapter in my
Your
great
story is China.
My story is everybody. You can't just talk about China, about Pakistan. Talk about all my stories. What happened in Maldives? What is happening in Nepal? What's happening in China? What's happening in Bhutan? What happened with Doklam? Talk about everything. Great. That part of my story is great, Pakistan. Baki story ko kyo? When I talk about that, you don't want to discuss that. Then you say, no, you can't discuss it. Why? Why you only want to discuss this? That's the problem that I have with them. If you're a true nationalist, I support you on Pakistan. Support me on China? That's the point. Let's keep it equal.
And in the page number 40 of the Congress manifesto, the line goes like this: ki, unfortunately, in many areas, foreign policy under the BJP/NDA government has witnessed marked departures from this consensus, notably on the ongoing Gaza conflict.
Yeah.
Congress pledges to restore India's global reputation as a voice of peace and moderation in world affairs. But don't you think that's already happening? As in, it's like you are cherry picking a point which doesn't even exist. I mean, India in the Israel-Hamas conflict is taking its individual stand.
Yeah, but what happened in the beginning was with that. So the Prime Minister also had to clarify later on, and so did India, that we are with Palestine and we stand for the liberation of Palestine.
Like the humanitarian aid.
No, not just humanitarian aid. India's principal stand is we stand with Palestine. That's our principal stand. That's not changed even under Modi ji. But what did happen, and I think where there was a little bit of a difference is with these, with in the initial statements and euphoria about absolutely standing by Israel and making Gaza not Hamas, making it against Gaza, I think there was some amount of discomfort in the global south. That has been sufficiently so far addressed by the Prime Minister. I do give him credit that he did see that would create a problem in the global south and the Middle Eastern region where India has a great footprint. Under this Prime Minister, we've done well. So he did rectify it. But I do think that like South Africa took the lead in the International Court of Justice for Gaza. And the people of Gaza are suffering. The war was against Hamas. Hamas leadership is in other countries. Israel needs to go after them. Israel does need to go after the Hamas leadership, no doubt about it. But going after innocent Gaza citizens is uncalled for, is unaccepted. Killing innocent kids is not right. Starving them to death, cutting off supplies is not right.
Agreed.
It is wrong. And just because Israel does it, does not make it right. And just because some people here get excited that Israel is doing it, does not make it right. Human life must always come first. Killing innocent people is unacceptable. Killing innocent children is unacceptable. Bombing hospitals is unacceptable. Going down, taking a professional trained armed forces into the areas where innocent children, women are hauled up and shooting them like they are like they are animals is unacceptable. And what is unacceptable, Mahatma Gandhi would have taken a stand on it. Pandit Nehru would have taken a stand on it. Indira ji would have taken a stand on it. Pandit Vajpayee would have taken a stand on it. And I hope my Prime Minister says it clearly that is unacceptable.
But he is doing that by
But
sending
he's
the
standing by
humanitarian
Gaza,
aid,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he's
To
also
Gaza.
maintaining the trade relations with Israel.
Which is great. And I think Israel is a friend of India's.
Yeah.
And therefore, it is incumbent on India. It is incumbent of India to talk to our friend Israel and to talk to our friend Gaza and to stop this. It is incumbent on India. And we should take the leadership role because we want to lead the global south. We want to lead a new world order. And we are powerful enough. Why can't my Prime Minister take that lead and go and talk to his friend Netanyahu, talk to the Gaza president and try and get some solution? Why are we not taking that lead? We want to be global players, right? Take the lead. I will support you. I don't support BJP, I'll support you. Go there, take the lead. We can do this. Israel is our friend. Gaza is our friend. Our foreign policy is for Gaza. Let's go and solve. Let's go. Let's let India take the lead in this. I'm saying innocent people. I'm not for Hamas. I'm again making clear. Hamas should be eliminated. They're not even there. But now, shouldn't those kids be saved?
They
Look
should
at
be.
those videos coming out, yeah? It's a professional army killing kids, women. I don't like this. It's not right. And I think India should have taken the lead in bringing peace with the civilians. And India can. I think Prime Minister Modi has a stature to do it. I really think he's a global leader. As much as I oppose BJP, I think he's a global leader.
You
बढ़िया
agree on
इंसान,
that?
yeah, of course यार, बढ़िया इंसान है. क्या शान से चलता है, बढ़िया इंसान है.
But you still don't want him to win.
हाँ, मेरी पॉलिटिकल डिफरेंसेस है, पर आदमी जो अच्छा है, आदमी में अच्छा है यार, बढ़िया इंसान है एकदम. फॉरेन ही रिप्रेजेंट्स माय कंट्री वेल, अच्छा बोलते हैं, क्यों नहीं यार. जो अच्छी बात है, पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट हो ना हो, जो चीज़ अच्छी लगती है यार, मुझे अच्छी लगती है ये बात उनकी. आई एम अनअपोलोजेटिक अबाउट इट.
हाँ,
बढ़िया लगती है. ही रिप्रेजेंट्स इंडिया वेल. उन्होंने इंडिया का इंटरेस्ट रखा है हमेशा आगे. लेकिन ये जब मच्छी मगरमच्छ, फिर मुझे पसंद नहीं आती है. इतना बड़ा ग्लोबल लीडर, बस जो बाइडन उनसे हाथ मिला रहा, पुटिन उनसे हाथ, फिर यहाँ के मछली मंगलसूत्र करना, ये उनको शोभा नहीं देता. दैट्स व्हाट माय पॉइंट इज. आदमी बढ़िया और उनका स्टैचर है. वो नेतन्याहू को फोन करते बोल सकते हैं, आँख में आँख मिला के, ब्रो इनोसेंट लोगों को मारना बंद करो. ही हैज द स्टैचर, कर सकते वो. मैं होता उनकी जगह तो करता भाई.
अब
इसमें नोबेल प्राइज भी मिल जाएगा.
अब जैसे यू आर टॉकिंग, यू योरसेल्फ प्रेज मोदी.
हाँ.
यहाँ पे यू आर सेइंग दैट ही
अब सारे लेफ्ट वाले मुझे गाली देंगे. और मैं वो उस पे बोला मैत्री करार वगैरह, सारे राइट वाले देंगे. तो इस पॉडकास्ट के बाद सभी लोग मुझे गाली देने वाले.
सेंट्रिस्ट नहीं देगा.
सेंट्रिस्ट है कितने?
यू से व्हाट डू यू फील?
आई थिंक मोस्ट पीपल आर सेंट्रिस्ट
इन इंडिया. दे आर.
यार आदमी चाहता है यार मेरा ठीक हो, घर वालों का ठीक हो, गांव शहर का ठीक हो, आराम से जियो, उसको जो करना है करे, मैं जो कर रहा हूँ करो. लोग इट्स अ पीसफुल कंट्री यार. थिंक
इंडिया
इज अ पीसफुल कंट्री यार. अधिकतर लोग अपनी लाइफ में पड़े हुए, अपना कीर्तन करते, पूजा करते, माँ बाप का ध्यान रखते, सुबह उठते, अच्छा काम करते. उनको क्या लेना देना किसी और की लाइफ से. सब अच्छी रीत से रहते, खुशी से रहते. अच्छा देश है, बढ़िया देश है, अच्छे लोग हैं. हम ही जबरदस्ती क्या तुमने देखो ऐसे कोई आके तुम्हें उंगली किया क्या ऐसे जबरदस्ती, मतलब कोई पहचान वाला छोड़कर ऐसे कोई करता है क्या उंगली
ना.
बाकी देशों में जाओ पीसफुल यार. तुम क्या कर रहे हो, तुम यहाँ है टेरिस पे मेरे साथ बैठकर पॉडकास्ट कर, किसी को क्या मतलब है क्या तुम्हारे इर्द गिर्द, किसी को तुम जानते भी नहीं होगे कौन यहाँ रह रहा है. पीसफुल कंट्री अच्छा है. वो अपने उसमें संडे आफ्टरनून में व्यस्त है, तुम अपने संडे आफ्टरनून में मेरे साथ बैठा. इट्स अ ग्रेट कंट्री. काहे इसमें ये सब ला रहे हैं, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. आई थिंक मोस्ट पीपल आर सेंट्रिस्ट.
अब जैसे यू सेड दैट पीएम मोदी रिप्रेजेंट्स अ स्टेचर, बट डू यू सी दैट स्टेचर इन समवन इन द इंडिया अलायंस? दैट्स माय क्वेश्चन. इंडिया अलायंस.
राहुल विल बी अ गुड रिप्रेजेंटेशन
टू मोदी.
मोदी को क्यों रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे राहुल?
नहीं
देश
टू वर्सेस, यू आर सेइंग राहुल versus PM Modi debate. Rahul Gandhi can.
He's asked Modi ji for a debate. उन्होंने तो एक्सेप्ट किया डिबेट, अब मोदी जी एक्सेप्ट कर ले, उन्होंने आज ही एक्सेप्ट किया, कल ही एक्सेप्ट किया डिबेट, तो डिबेट करने को तैयार है. बट मैं जो आपका सवाल है ग्लोबल स्टैचर पे, आई थिंक एज अ प्राइम मिनिस्टर, हाँ आई थिंक इफ ही इज प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, आई रियली थिंक दैट ही विल रिप्रेजेंट इंडिया वेल.
राहुल गांधी.
हाँ यार देखो, प्राइम मिनिस्टर को तो कंट्री की पॉलिसी आगे रखनी है, पॉलिसी बाय एंड लार्ज तो सिमिलर होगी, थोड़ा बहुत ट्वीक होगा, बाकी तो आई थिंक ही विल हैव स्टैचर.
But provided he is being guided by left loonies, as you also say this, is he in the right position to lead India at the moment, where it has become so unapologetic about its individual stands?
I think so. I think Rahul Gandhi is unapologetic. See, what I like about Rahul, okay? You can fault him for यार इतने चुनाव हार गए, यार उस बंदे में दम है, वो उसका पोजीशन चेंज नहीं करता यार. मतलब सोचो यार, आज भी लगा हुआ है यार, मैं इस पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करूँगा, और वो बंदा वैसा है, वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करता.
Because he is missing his lifestyle, na, that he used to
No,
live.
I don't think क्या लाइफस्टाइल यार उसका, लाइफस्टाइल, what lifestyle is he missing, not missing? Bro, it's easier for him to give up and go away. कौन क्या ले लेगा उससे? इट्स ईजियर टू गो. उस लड़के ने, मैं जेन्युइनली कह रहा हूँ, उसने उसके बाप की बॉडी नहीं देखी यार, उसके पिताजी की बॉडी के पीसेज आए यार. उसके ग्रैंड मदर को उसके दोस्तों ने मारा, जिनके साथ वो बैडमिंटन खेलता था, उनकी ग्रैंड मदर की बॉडी का, उन्होंने उसकी ग्रैंड मदर को मारा, उसने उनकी ग्रैंड मदर की बॉडी देखी. उस लड़के को आप क्या डराओगे यार? उसने उस उम्र में देखा यार, उसने उसके डैड की बॉडी ठीक से नहीं देखी, उसको स्टिच करते लाना पड़ा उसके डैड की बॉडी. उस लड़के ने, आप उसको उसे अग्री करो नहीं करो यार, क्या ट्रॉमा से गया है उस लड़के ने, और आज इवॉल्व होकर रहा है. आप अग्री करो नहीं करो वो अलग बात है यार. 6,000 किलोमीटर चलना, 25 किलोमीटर, तुम फिट आदमी हो, मैं हूँ, नहीं चल पाएंगे यार, घुटने हमारे 10 दिन में टूट जाएंगे. वो 60 चलता गया, लोगों से मिला, कॉमन लोगों से मिला. यू कैन अग्री डिसअग्री बट लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. आई एग्री यार, बंदे में है दम यार, क्या आदमी है वो, है यार, बढ़िया इंसान है.
But don't you think he lacks experience, political experience?
That I think was a mistake with him, and I've told him this. He should have become a minister in Manmohan Singh ji's government. That I agree.
You told this when? Around what time?
Bola mein, sometime I told him. I don't remember, but I told him. I do think he may. I've said this publicly also. But also, I think he's not driven by power. I don't think power excites him. I think what excites him is transformation. जहाँ तक मैं उसको जानता हूँ, उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है देश को, लोगों को. I agree, power is a vehicle to transform. I don't think he sees power is the only vehicle to transform. I think he thinks that there are methods of transformation that can come in. Power is one of them. And therefore, he's not driven only by power. I do believe this. He's also very spiritual, you know. I mean, I hear him. Yeah, I do hear him talk. He's very spiritual. I do find a lot of spirituality in him. I do. I connect with the universe, right? So my spiritual meter, it seeks out seekers. I seek out seekers. I do believe he's a seeker. I do believe.
Seeker
of answers. He does seek. I can tell you this. Even whenever I've spoken to him, whatever vibe I've had, whatever vibe I've got from him, even when I see his videos, even normally you get his vibe.
But
he's a seeker.
The public embarrassment he gets sometimes by quoting some too technical terms in public to village people.
यार ठीक
He's
है
being
ना.
critically
यार देखो, सबकी लाइफ सुनो यार, सबकी लाइफ में एवोल्यूशन होता है.
हाँ.
उसकी भी लाइफ में एवोल्यूशन हो रहा है. उसकी लाइफ वो हम आज ये देख रहे हैं, वो कहाँ से आया वो देखो ना यार. उसकी लाइफ में एवोल्यूशन नहीं हो गया. और क्यों, और हमें क्यों लगता है कि पब्लिक डम है कि वो नहीं समझती क्या बोल रहा है. ऐसे नहीं होता यार. अब क्या सारा दुनिया भर का ज्ञान हमारे अंदर ही है क्या कि कॉमन पब्लिक को नहीं समझ में आएगा. हमें समझ में आ रहा है, लेकिन हम मजाक उड़ा रहे कि उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. तो एरोगेंट कौन हुआ, हम हुए या वो हुआ. देखो इस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी सोचो. हम जैसे मैं एक उनका मजाक उड़ता है वो जुपिटर वेलोसिटी वाली बात पे, सारे अब जितने उनका मजाक उड़ाते हैं सब कहते हैं, जो मैं उनको पूछा जुपिटर वेलोसिटी, सब बढ़िया समझाते. जुपिटर वेलोसिटी ये है, स्पीड ऑफ लाइट, स्पीड ऑफ ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स ये है. तुम्हारे समझ में आया तो तुमको तुम 30 मार खाओ, बाकी को क्यों समझ में नहीं आएगा. तुमने भी जाके पढ़ा होगा ना, जब उसने कहा जुपिटर वेलोसिटी, तो आज मुझे ज्ञान पेल रहे हो, तो बाकी लोग नहीं पढ़ सकते. तो ये एरोगेंस तुम्हारे अंदर है कि तुम्हें समझ में आ रहा कि वो गरीब है, उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा. ये तो तुम्हारा एरोगेंस है ना, उसका तो नहीं है. वो तो बेचारे ने बोल दिया, वो तो उनको अपने बराबर समझा, तो उसका कहाँ एरोगेंस आया. आई डोंट, ये गलत है. बट राहुल की एक बात है यार, इवॉल्व तो बढ़िया किया उसने.
इवॉल्व,
हाँ देखो यार, वो आप see today the common man has a respect for Rahul Gandhi, even if it's a BJP supporter. You may not agree with what he says, but मैं वापस कहता हूँ, 10,000 किलोमीटर देश में घूमा, कॉमन मैन से मिला, बिना डरे वो जो बात पे वो कायम है, उसी बात पर कायम रहता है, वो उससे चेंज नहीं करता है, वही चीज़ कह रहा है वो। हार जीत अलग चीज़ है, उससे डर रहा ही नहीं है। इतने चुनाव हार गया और डर रहा ही नहीं है, कह रहा ठीक है यार फिर लड़ूंगा। मतलब अनबिलीवेबल है बिल्कुल यार। इट्स लाइक इतना मुझे होता है यार, मैं डर जाता, मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस चला जाता और मैं अल्फा हूँ यार, वो लड़ रहा है यार। मतलब अब भी खड़ा होके वो आया लेटर, हम सब कहते हैं मोदी जी इज अ बेटर ओरेटर, वी ऑल बिलीव इट। वो लेटर आया जजेस का और जर्नलिस्ट का, डिबेट करो करो, चलो बुलाओ मोदी जी को, मैं डिबेट करने को तैयार। यार वो डरता ही नहीं वो लड़का, और बढ़िया यार, इससे बढ़ क्या प्राइम मिनिस्टर होगा। आई रियली थिंक इज अ ग्रेट मटीरियल। ये दिस इज अ गुड क्वालिटी इन हिम. I disagree with some of his other qualities. But like I like some qualities of Modi, I like this quality.
So you are basically saying that Rahul Gandhi is a good person, but the people around him, the consultants that he has around him,
सारे बेवकूफ है.
बेवकूफ है या एकदम सेपरेटिस्ट टाइप?
नहीं सेपरेटिस्ट कोई नहीं ऐसे बेवकूफ है, पर सारे बेवकूफ है. बट ठीक है यार उनका. बट यू नो व्हाट आई सी, यू नो आई एम इन अ स्टेज इन माई लाइफ, आई टेक द गुड फ्रॉम एवरीबडी. मुझे सबसे कुछ, अगर मुझे कोई तकलीफ भी होती ना, आई थैंक फॉर इट. मुझे ना I'll tell you this very personal story.
Yeah.
This author who's come on your podcast, I won't take the name, और तुम भी उसका नाम मत लो. He met me the last Sunday for lunch. I didn't even remember this. And he told me, bro, I'm sorry. I said, क्यों? He said, I did this thing. It was a joke, but that joke got you into legal trouble. It did. And then I realized that, fuck, I was in legal trouble. Oh, fuck, this guy cut the joke that led to a spiraling down, which people took seriously and became like a fucking and it fucked me over, that joke. It was a joke done in a good cause to help the country. He was making a sarcastic point against the laws of the country and played a joke on me. That joke backfired. Nobody understood it was a sarcastic joke. And it just spiraled down and got me into a lot of legal trouble. Lot of fucking legal trouble. 1.5 years. And I didn't even remember it. I didn't remember he's the guy who said it. And I was just like, thank you, bro. Because it taught me so much. It helped me evolve. It helped me be better. And life is like that. You have to evolve.
This guy only?
नहीं, ये नहीं. ये इसके जोक से क्या होगा? ये ठीक है, अपना दोस्त है, बट इसके जोक से नहीं, ये अलग था. But point is that, he also had written a gossip piece on me.
अच्छा, राशिद?
ठीक है, अपने लोग. आई थैंक, कोई भी मुझे कुछ बुरा करता है ना, मैं आई लव इट. आई लव माई स्ट्रगल्स. आई लव व्हेन पीपल आर पुटिंग मी डाउन, बिकॉज दैट हेल्प्स मी इवॉल्व. यार अच्छे में तो सब अच्छा ही होता है ना, बढ़िया. एवोल्यूशन कब होता है? आई लव इट. आई नो दैट नो मैटर व्हाट लाइफ थ्रोज एट मी, if whatever lemons life throws at me, I will either make a lemonade or I'll smash it back on the other person. I know this is my quality. या तो मैं lemonade बना के पीऊँगा, या तो उसको उठाकर smash करूँगा. I'm grateful for the lemons in my life. I love it. That's the best part of my life. I was telling, just now before coming out, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. I was telling her, so she and I do a lot of meditation together. I was telling her, so we just had a meditation this morning, which I couldn't attend because I'm doing the podcast. So she's telling me about a meditation, and I was just like, and we discovered a new healing thing. And I was just like, bro, I was telling her, bro, the one thing about life is, the more it throws at me, I realize the more I will rise. Because I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful when people put me down. I'm grateful when people make fun. I'm grateful when people go against me. I'm grateful when people try to put me in trouble. Because that helps me evolve. I live in that gratitude. I thrive in that gratitude. In that. I thrive in it. I love it. That's so I love to find seekers. I love it.
I'm going back to politics again. मैं spirituality पे आराम से आऊँगा.
Spirituality को छोड़ा, हम politics की बात करते हैं. Politics is also very spiritual.
Damn, that's a very big statement.
It is. यार अगर आप spiritual नहीं होगे तो आप politics कैसे कर पाओगे?
So every politician is basically spiritual.
तो politicians होते हैं, मोदी जी भी है, राहुल जी भी. I think मोदी is.
No, but यार तो चलो एकदम forefront पे रहने वाले.
हाँ, मैं उतना ही सोचता हूँ. मेरा अपना एम उधर ही, अपना नीचे है ही नहीं. अपना सीधा टॉप ही है. अपना टॉप ही है. अपना विजुअलाइजेशन ही टॉप है. बीच में करना ही नहीं विजुअलाइजेशन.
तो इंडिया अलायंस का एक और.
इंडिया.
Alliance is the word, right? The last abbreviation.
बीजेपी क्यों बोलते हो? बीजेपी पार्टी क्यों बोलते हैं? एनडीए क्यों बोलते हैं? फिर बोल रहा है इंडिया अलायंस. होता तुम नहीं बोलते. हाँ, ऐसे क्यों करते हो तुम? ऐसा बायस नहीं होना चाहिए.
ठीक है. इंडिया अलायंस. इंडिया अलायंस जो है, उसकी एक डिबेट ये चलती है कि ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि 5 साल का अगर टेन्योर उनको मिलेगा, हर साल एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर.
बढ़िया होगा कि देश प्रॉब्लम
You agree to that?
नो आई डोंट. इट्स ये बीजेपी कुछ भी कहती है वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर एक ही बनेगा और जो सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी होगी उसका प्राइम मिनिस्टर.
राहुल गांधी इज प्रोबब्ली द
नहीं, जो एमपीज डिसाइड करेगी सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी के उसका होगा. बट इट डज नॉट मीन हैज टू बी राहुल गांधी. आई डोंट थिंक राहुल गांधी इज हैंकरिंग फॉर पावर. सो आई वुड लाइक राहुल गांधी टू बी, बट आई डोंट थिंक ही इज हैंकरिंग. तो जो भी होगा वो एमपीज तय करेंगे. बट ऐसा थोड़ी होगा कि 5 साल. फिर उन्होंने भी कल शगुफा दे दिया कि मोदी जी 75 के बाद रिटायर करें, तो अमित शाह जी आके बोले नहीं कर. तो ये पॉलिटिक्स है, इसको सीरियसली मत लो. वो बीजेपी पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है और ये लोग पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं. इट मीन्स नथिंग. एक मोदी जी अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर दोबारा बने, पूरे 5 साल बनेंगे प्राइम मिनिस्टर, कोई कहीं नहीं आएगा, कोई 75 का रिटायरमेंट एज नहीं है. कल अमित शाह जी ने भी बता दिया. और इनका प्राइम मिनिस्टर बना तो सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी का ही प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनेगा, कोई इर्द गिर्द का नहीं बनेगा. लेट्स बी क्लियर ऑन दीज 2 फैक्ट्स.
और एक प्रशांत किशोर ने प्रशांत किशोर जो पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट है, उन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था एक इंटरव्यू में दैट बीजेपी इज नाउ ट्राइंग टू मेक अ साइकोलॉजिकल इम्प्रिंट. इट्स वन थिंग टू विन, बट यू वांट पीपल टू रिमेंबर यू.
It's not just that. They want to psychological imprint on your lives. They want to stamp their politics on your life. They want to dominate you, decimate you. That's not good. They want to be in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in everything. They want to change your lifestyle. वो नहीं चाहिए. They want to make everything, what's the word for it? Homogeneous. It's not good.
Not good for a democratic country.
Not good for any civilization. Democracy is a small part of a civilization. It's one of the parts. For any civilization, civilizations thrive in diversity. You must be diverse. People will have different points of views. People will have different lifestyles. People have different ways of living. We must enjoy it. We must accept it. We must love it. We must love them as ours. We must not be this way. You can't be my way or the highway. ऐसे नहीं होता है. Progress and prosperity comes in diversity, not in homogeneity. We must always have a diverse point of view. We must enjoy it. And not just enjoy it, we must respect it, learn it, and accept other people's point of views.
That's missing in today's environment, you feel?
Absolutely.
मतलब
वो कह रहे हैं कि
dictatorship वाला
we are saying we are living in it, उसका registration करा भाई. क्या
But till now it's in one.
And you think they're not going to? Do you think BJP doesn't want to get into every aspect of your life? Who you eat with, who you're dating, who you're going. They whether आरोग्य सेतु का data. Again I come back to that. Data कहाँ गया? Diabetes है, ये सब तो है उनके पास. तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए ना.
Yeah. So pretty much now summarizing this conversation, I was very intrigued to hear that term कि politicians भी spiritual हो सकते हैं, politics spiritual होती है. With that question, I have this question that how it's spiritual. Another thing that I want to ask you is that आपने एक tweet किया था where you said that you are an atheist but still you believe in Krishna.
Totally.
Yeah.
Krishna for me begins where everything ends.
So
I love Krishna. Like I'm in love with Krishna. I'm really telling you. Krishna is like my friend.
And you are saying this despite being a Muslim.
Yeah. Despite being an atheist Muslim, yeah. But I love Krishna. He's my friend. He's everything. Krishna and Shiva is everything to me. Every solution I get from Krishna, every solution I get from Shiva. I'm not making this up. For me, I take so many lessons from Krishna, Krishna's life, his time on earth, and you know who I said I practice something called Radha Tantra. Krishna is everything to everybody. He's a friend to Sudama. He's a teacher to Arjun. He's a guide to. He's a lover to Radha. He's a husband. He's a Aradhya. He's everything. And that one person can do anything and everything. And it's very easy to be spiritual after you leave the world, right? तो अगर spiritual होना है तो मैं दुनिया छोड़ के गुफाओं में जाके हिमालय में बैठ जाऊँ और बन गया मैं spiritual. ठीक, वो आसान है. वो भी मुश्किल है but आसान है. कृष्णा spiritual in the city. वो यहाँ city में रहकर spiritual है. मतलब his spirituality is there in the city. He doesn't give up the worldly world. वो उस worldly world, उस दुनिया में रहकर spiritual है. मतलब स्पिरिचुअल बनने के लिए लोगों को त्याग करना पड़ता है, लोगों को घर छोड़ना पड़ता है, महल छोड़ना पड़ता है, पैसा छोड़ना पड़ता है, रिश्ते छोड़ने पड़ते हैं। वो रिश्ते निभाते हुए स्पिरिचुअल है, वो इस दुनिया में रहकर स्पिरिचुअल है, यहां इसमें वो कुरुक्षेत्र के रण में स्पिरिचुअल है। मतलब एक स्टोरी है कि इन द मिडल ऑफ द बैटल कृष्णा अर्जुन के चैरिट को रोकते, वो घोड़ों को पानी पिलाते। ही नोज दैट वो घोड़ों को पानी चाहिए। वो उस लेवल का आदमी है, मतलब वो उस लेवल का कोई कॉम्प्रिहेंस नहीं हुआ। आपको उस लेवल पे पहुंचने के लिए सब कुछ त्याग करेंगे तब भी नहीं पहुंच सकते। वो सबके बीच में रहकर स्पिरिचुअल है। हिज स्पिरिचुअलिटी इज अनबिलीवेबल।
यू कनेक्ट दैट विद द वे यू आर इन्वॉल्व इन पॉलिटिक्स, कुछ कनेक्ट लगता है आपको?
नहीं, मैं तो कृष्णा के सबसे छोटे पैर की उंगली की धूल की सबसे छोटी मिट्टी भी नहीं हूँ, इट्स ऑब्वियसली नॉट, बट आई लव कृष्णा। आई मीन कृष्णा से मुझे जो भी जवाब चाहिए, मैं कृष्णा आशीर्वाद से बात करता हूँ, मुझे मिल जाते हैं। जो भी मैं ओपनली उनसे पूछता हूँ और मुझे उसका आंसर मिलता है, किसी न किसी फॉर्म में मिलता है। मैं काफ़ी बार शमशान में जाकर मेडिटेट करता हूँ 4 बजे।
शमशान में?
हाँ, क्योंकि मुझे वहाँ समझ में आता है कि ज़िंदगी, ये जो दिस 4D वर्ल्ड इज़ टेम्पररी, ये तो चले जाएगा ना। चलो मेरा 140 साल के बाद जाएगा, पर जाएगा। पॉइंट है कि यार जाएगा ये।
हाँ।
कुछ परमानेंट नहीं है। आप हम्बल हो जाते हो, आपको समझ में आती है लाइफ क्या है, कि यार किस चीज़ के लिए लड़ रहे हो, किस चीज़ की ईगो है। जाना तो तुम्हें यहीं शमशान में या इसी कब्रिस्तान में जाना है, जहाँ पर मैं जाकर मेडिटेट करता हूँ, मुझे बहुत सुकून मिलता है वहाँ पर। ये नहीं कि मैं कोई ब्लैक मैजिक करता हूँ या कोई, वो सब मुझे नहीं आता है। तो पता है जरा पॉडकास्ट पे आ रहा है कि मैं ब्लैक मैजिक,
वो दीजिए,
ये सब मुझे नहीं आता है। बट मैं वहाँ जाकर मेडिटेट करता हूँ, मतलब देखते हो, वेरी ऑफन आई गो टू माई फादर्स ग्रेव, वहाँ जाकर बैठ जाता हूँ मैं। यार मेरे डैड मुझे सुबह स्कूल छोड़ने गए, बहुत लंबी स्टोरी है, मैं उसमें नहीं जाऊँगा। मुझे उस दिन स्कूल नहीं जाना था, डे ही पास्ड अवे, ठीक है। तो मेरे मन में कुछ बैड फीलिंग्स आ रही थी, मुझे नहीं जाना था। डैड गॉट अप से, चलो स्कूल छोड़ते तुम्हें, आज हम छोड़ते स्कूल। डैड टुक मी टू स्कूल, ड्रॉप मी। मॉर्निंग इज ड्रॉपिंग मी टू स्कूल, इवनिंग ही इज नो मोर देयर। इमेजिन, ही ड्रॉप मी टू स्कूल इन द मॉर्निंग, इवनिंग इज नॉट देयर। आई गो एंड सिट एट हिज ग्रेव, आई लर्न सो मच। Life will go like this. What is 70, 80, 90 years on this earth? It's like this. But what will remain is your legacy. What will remain is what you leave behind. Your energy will never go. Energy will always remain. No? Your energy will never get destroyed. The body will go. Energy will. I want to move away from the 4D to the 5D. I love going in the 5D universe. I'm living in 4D, yes, but I'm trying to go into 5D, and I do break that barrier. I do go to 5D sometimes, especially when I open my third eye. I do see the 5D. I do experience it. I want to experience that. I love it. There is no stress. There is no problem. There is no rivalry. What is there? Here, what is... This 4D is limited. I love the 5D. I love going to that higher dimension.
Has that experience that you get in spirituality motivated you to quit politics at some point in your life?
No, because politics for me is a vehicle to bring about change in 4D. While I want to live in 5D, I also understand that I've been sent to 4D for a reason. It's similar like Krishna. That's where Krishna comes in. Or that's where Ramji comes in. थे तो भगवान विष्णु, पर उनको लाया गया था ना एक परिवर्तन करने। वो परिवर्तन को उनको 4D वर्ल्ड में ही करना था ना, इसलिए 14 साल के वनवास में गए राम जी। परिवर्तन वहीं से हुआ, रावण से लड़े, वहीं से वो परिवर्तन तो उनको यहीं पर करना है ना, 4D के अंदर करना है। सेम विद कृष्णा, ही इज विष्णु बट ही केम इन द 4D वर्ल्ड टू मेक दैट चेंज। वो चेंज तो उनको यहीं करना है ना, वो आपका कर्तव्य है चेंज करना, वो आपको इसलिए भेजा गया है। यू कैन लिव इन 5D, बट काम तो आपको 4D के लिए करना है, वो आपका कर्म है, दैट यू हैव टू डू। वो तो मेरा कर्म है करना, वो मैं करूँगा, बट आई विल लिव इन अ 5D वर्ल्ड। मुझे 4D वाले ये सब पसंद नहीं है, ये इसको ये कहो, इसको ये करो, इसको अलग करो, ये सब पसंद नहीं है।
But that's a major part of your life on day-to-day basis to interact with these people.
हाँ, बट मैं उनसे नेगेटिविटी नहीं लेता हूँ, मैं उनसे प्यार लेता हूँ। जेन्युइनली कोई कितना भी मुझे कुछ बोल दे, कभी पहले मुझे होता था कोई डिबेट में कुछ पर्सनल चीज़ बोल दिया, मैं क्रोधित हो जाता था, इसके टाइम मुझे कुछ फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, मैं उनसे भी प्यार लेता हूँ, मुझे उनमें भी प्यार दिखता है। आई एम इन अ स्टेज आई लव दिस थिंग, आई एम इन द ग्रेटेस्ट फेज ऑफ माई लाइफ, आई एम लविंग इट, आई एम मीटिंग अमेजिंग पीपल एंड इट्स नॉट पीपल ओनली कम टू मी, आई एम टेलिंग यू, I'm in planes, people come to me and we start talking about things. It's just everywhere I go, I'm meeting people who know me, who talk to me, who come, who want to hang with me. I'm loving this phase of my life. I'm meeting my people, I'm meeting my peeps, I hang out, I go to the best of places, I'm having like, I'm loving the music. Like last night, I was at this place, at the launch of this new place, and just me and a friend of mine, two friends of mine, both of them are IPS officers. One is a guy, one is a girl. We were just, nobody cared. We were just in our zone. We were dancing, hearing music, chilling. We were just like dancing. We were just having the blast. And there I was, it didn't matter. I was living in that moment. And anyone would have seen us would be like, ये दो IPS officer ये कर क्या रहे तीनों? But we were living in that moment. It just meant everything to us, that moment. And then you're here, this podcast, I'm giving it my 100%. It means everything to me. And I'm grateful that I'm doing this podcast. And it's not always everything will be good. There'll be something that'll be bad. It's okay, I'll take it. I'll live with it. I'll accept it.
Was there something bad here?
No. I'm too good. Podcast. I'm podcast material. You told me in the beginning. I'm totally podcast material. I love myself. I'm total podcast material.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I hope it
We
was
had
a
a great
different sort
time.
of experience.
We had an amazing time. बोलो मैंने कितना ज्ञान पेला podcast में सबको बोलो तो ज्ञान पेला podcast में.
But it was lovely having you.
Thank you.
Knowing so many perspectives.
And it was so much fun. And that's what it should be. It should be unrestricted.
I hope so. It was for you a great time.
I loved it. So thanks, bro.
Thank you so much.
I
for
hope you
being
got all
here.
your answers.
Pretty much.
हाँ वापस सर्च करेंगे after 7 June.
Yeah, sure.
4th June is the results.
4th June
The
is the
7th I'm
result.
busy. I have some commitments on television. So after 7 June we'll do again.
Done.
Sounds
For
good.
sure.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you, guys.